I should.
I hate when I say good like that because it reminds me of Halle Berry in Monsters Ball, where she's like,
Oh
I
yeah.
want you to make me feel good."
I love that movie. She's one of my crushes. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my god.
That's surprising. It's surprising and not surprising.
Yeah. So, what's up, everyone? My name is George, and this here is,
Susie,
and this together is the I Know Right.
podcast.
Yes, and welcome to another episode. We are in season 2. This is episode 11.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Well, I remember because I just edited the number 10 today, which is up, and that one is called 21 Questions. So go check it out. Our guest ghosted us that day. So,
yes. 21 questions, like the 50 Cent song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I am coming to you guys now with some less depression.
Oh, that's new. We've never seen that.
It's been a long time. I feel better. I'm not like 100%, but I am so much better. I was telling George how I was watching TV this weekend. Like, TV is so awesome. And you know, like, I'm depressed when I have no joy in watching television. So now you guys
TV's
know.
her thing. She likes to watch it. She catches up all the gym on what's going on and what's new
So
and
many
what's
new
everything.
shows.
And she hasn't been telling us anything about anything. That's what's going on. So,
But it's time to let go of those shows because we are approaching October. It's almost Presley's birthday, by the way.
bum bum bum.
And that's spooky season.
You're not a
Fall.
spooky season person?
No.
No, you're not a pumpkin spice latte person. No, are you any type of person like that?
I mean, my favorite thing about fall is taffy apples.
Okay.
And I don't mind going to like farms and all that, but it's not like I'm dying. I'm not gonna wait in line for like 40 minutes for a pumpkin spice latte. It just tastes like a pumpkin drink. I don't know.
Right.
Like
Okay.
I don't dislike pumpkin. I like pumpkins, but I just don't like it approaches like the cold weather. You
Okay.
know?
Right.
And that's what I'm not about. And I did go to Trader Joe's though, and I got very excited that they had these mini pumpkins. They were called tangerine pumpkins
Okay.
because they look like they look like cuties.
Okay.
That's how small they are. And I bought like a bunch. And Presley was like, "You don't even like fall." I'm like, "Yep, I'm not like a monster. I like cute things.
I'm not evil.
These are cute pumpkins and little gourds and stuff." So I'm like, it's not like I dislike cute things.
That's
so.
hilarious. Yeah, I'm not a. I like fall. I just don't like everything that comes with it, like Halloween. You know, all the holidays. I'm not I love holiday food, but I just know that's the end of the year, and it's just like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yes, we've been talking about that. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize you posted that thing. You posted it before I talked about the class.
Oh yeah. So
How there's 96
yeah.
days left before the end of the year. That blew my mind because what I was telling the noon class today when I coach was that we're approaching the final quarter of the year, the last 3 months. And to think about all the stuff you wanted to accomplish in January or even at the end of last year for December, like what did you want to accomplish this year? You still have time to even start it if you haven't done so. But 96 days really adds some pressure. Like to think of that as a number, it's like, whoa, okay, I really got to get going with that stuff. So it does add some pressure to me.
Yeah.
It makes me think about the next year, and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it can be exciting, but the cold I am not for. You know, if fall was like how it's in the movies.
Right.
Like all those Halloween movies where like they're clearly not even wearing jackets, but they're walking around with pants and like long sleeves and it's sunny and the leaves still change color. Where's that place? Like where is that happening? Because that's where I would go live. Not where it's like freezing rain on Halloween and you
Yeah.
have to wear like a coat over your costume.
Yeah.
BS.
You've never seen a costume because everyone's just wearing big puffy coats.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
ruins all your costumes. So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
enough of being the Scrooge of Halloween.
And not only that, but in the movies though, hold on, wait. But in the movies, it's like fall lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's like a week or something,
Yeah,
or
like
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
and it's gone. Like it's just like
It's summer. There's like some weird weather. 2 weeks of fall, and then we're literally in winter.
yeah, it's crazy.
I
So,
hate it. I
yeah.
hate it. But all right, well here it is. It's coming. It's
It
coming.
is,
Winter
so.
is coming. Okay, so I wanted to talk about like I had a totally different topic, but we did say we would talk briefly on this before. But I feel like we should do it, and I chose this shirt not knowing what we were going to talk about. So my friend
Move
Jenny,
your mic so people
my
can see.
friend Jenny Pisani had bought me the shirt, and it says my 2 moods. 1, hello. 2, I'll cut you. Okay. So what George and I wanted to discuss today was something that's become very popular, and now George is all into TikToks, where I've been into TikToks. But remember that episode we made, like Susie has a TikTok and she likes disgusting tortillas. Remember that episode?
Which one?
It was an episode way back where you were making fun of the fact that I got a TikTok
Okay.
and that I like Atotonico tortillas.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yes.
And so like I've been involved with TikTok. Like I love watching TikToks. They're so creative and funny to me, or even sad or whatever. But George is now all in.
Yeah.
Follow him, George, the content creator on TikTok. He has a bunch of those. He's making a lot. But so one of the biggest trends that I've been able to see that's a popular thing because of TikTok is in Latin or mostly Mexican American youth culture, the terms of tóxico and tóxica. And I have to be honest, like at first, like I was watching like skits about it, and I would then see some Instagram posts about it, and I was like, okay. But now when I see, it's just like people not valuing themselves or their partner or their relationship and thinking it's funny, like thinking it's your personality trait. Like I'm toxic, he's toxic, we act toxic like this. And I don't think it's funny. I don't find it cute. I don't think that it promotes healthy relationships, because people are toxic and we all know them. Like we were talking about this beforehand. I have toxic traits. I've done toxic things in relationships before, and vice versa. It didn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel like, oh yeah, this is the relationship I want. You hate it.
Yeah. And before we even get in super deep into it, can we kind of like explain a little bit what more like the toxicity is, like what makes it more toxic? Because I feel like some people can like see like a relationship, and if the woman's depressed, then they'd be like, oh, like, you know, it's not a good relationship or something like that, right? But that's not toxic, you know,
right? Or
the man is you know, always working or something, but that's not.
So for example, like on TikTok, there's a lot of people that will have like Toxica Lessons. Yeah, or like Toxica tip,
or Toxica hacks.
Yeah, and it's basically like, oh, if your boyfriend's having a good day, like, why is he having a good day? Maybe he saw some other girl, some other bitch when you weren't around. Like it's causing you to have like insecure. Like to me, any sort of behavior like that is rooted in insecurity and lack of self-confidence. So that's why I don't like it, because to me it promotes that in you. Like I don't want to continue to be like non-confident in myself or have low self-esteem or all that stuff. But it's basically that, like, oh, Toxica lesson number whatever. And it's like, if you don't know, like, take his phone and see how he reacts. And it's just like, why are you playing these games? Like, how is that fun? I would hate to be in a relationship where I'm like, all right, give me your phone out of nowhere. And you'll be like, why? Okay. Oh, you're cheating. Like, ew, like, why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to fight? Like, you know, that. So basically that's what toxica culture would be. But guys are also proud to be toxicos, and it's all about, like, you know, making sure your girl only looks good for you, and, you know, acting jealous for her, and, oh, same thing, like, let me check your phone, or, you know,
or I'll beat up any guy you talk to.
Yeah,
like
that sort of thing. And it's just like, okay, like, what's the end? Like, sure, is it funny? Do I sometimes laugh at these skits or whatever? Sure, because sometimes they're familiar scenes in my life or whatever. But at the same time, it's, I hate that you feel that that's the evolution of a relationship. And I mentioned that I see it mostly in, like, Mexican American people, like kids, like teens and young adults, where they think that this is a cool thing. And there's a couple people in the gym that have shirts that say toxica. And it really bothers me, because it's like, well, you're also a single woman that would like a relationship. Do you think that that's going to get you the relationship that you want? We're all about manifesting. Right. We're all about speaking stuff into existence. If I'm going to wear a shirt that says toxica, then I'm going to get a relationship like that.
That's toxic.
And that's not what I want.
Yeah. And then for me, I feel like, so it's being dramatic without anything having to be dramatic about.
Or maybe there is. Maybe they are cheating on each other. Oh, he cheated on me, then I'm going to cheat on him. And it's a cycle. And it's you guys just initiating drama so you guys can look cool to your friends. Or for what reason? None.
Right.
Like for us, we've already gone through the work. And it's like if someone's disrespecting you or cheating on you, you leave that relationship.
Yeah.
Right? But these people choose to stay because of whatever reason. And it's like hashtag toxica, hashtag toxico. And yeah.
So I mean, we've gone through that work, right? We've gone through it and we've noticed this. So like, what kind of things have you noticed about yourself that's like, this might be a little toxic. I should probably change this. Or does it depend? Or does it depend on the person that you're with also?
I think that is true. I think that depends on the person as well. We were just talking before the show on how I've never looked through a boy's phone. Or like a guy I'm talking to or boyfriend's phone, but I have had that done to me. But to me, it's like if I have to look through your phone, game over. Like to me, it's like if I feel I need to do that, then we're done. Like there's no point. Like if I feel I need to do that, why am I even with you?
But that's you now though. Like you've grown. Back then,
but I've also never done it ever.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because for instance, like I have done it, but I've done it because there was reasons to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I'm not toxic. Because, me now, I would have just not want to be in that and just removed myself from that. Mm-hmm. So, but back then, I didn't know I was being toxic by staying in the relationship but just going through the phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I'm like...
One of my most toxic traits, I will say, because it's true, it's like when things get too tough for me, personally, I'd rather just throw the whole relationship away. Like, you know what, I'm done. So like, and nowadays it's not so dramatic, but like when I was younger, I'd be like, I'm done, I'm out. But like all that, like that's me being in that toxic state and all that. Right now I just be like, you know what, like this is not working out, or more calm.
And
but when you back in the day, it would be like a big scene, like, you know what, I'm done, like screw this, blah 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 blah.
And when you say when things like like outside of the relationship thing, when it gets hard?
I would say like not even like the relationship, maybe the relationship a little bit, but for the most part, like my whole life is in shambles and I have to take it out on the relationship.
Oh dang, okay.
I would say that's probably my most toxic trait.
Okay.
I am aware of it, but still that's one that I would say that's my toxic trait, because I'm not the type of girl to. And I have done some stuff. Like I have pulled up on some guy's house to see if he was home, if he was lying.
Ooh, no, you did not.
I just literally remember that right now. I literally just remember that. Like I have done that. Like, okay, is he there? Oh, he is. Right, his car is there. Okay, like lie or whatever. I have also done that, and they're not there, so then I know they're lying. I have done that. I have done. I guess that's probably the most toxic thing I can do. I've never been the kind to call a girl up and be like, stay away from my man, but God.
No? I dated a girl that she got in a car crash to stay kind of with me.
What?
That's super toxic, right?
Yes. What do you mean?
Yeah. So we kind of lived together. Well, yeah, we lived together. What they kicked her? They kicked her out of her house, and I was like, you can stay with me. And then so they kicked her out of her house, and then she's like, you can say
okay, hold on because I like to know all the details. Why did they kick her out?
I have no idea. I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. I can't remember.
I feel like you need to ask those questions, because if they kick you out and be like, why'd they kick you out?
I can't remember why they kicked her out. I don't even know. Maybe that's why I should have paid attention. That was a red flag, right?
Right.
So maybe I didn't pay attention to that. I was so blinded by, oh man, she's gonna be at my house, Anyway, so. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a toxic relationship. We were talking earlier too, like how when two people are both toxic for each other, like you can't really tell.
Correct.
Like someone's getting treated worse or somebody's, because you're just both toxic to each other, and it's just like, oh, this is how a relationship should be. So anyway, so and she was a bartender. And I'm not saying bartenders are bad.
How old are you?
Dude, I was like 22 maybe.
Okay.
21. Right, 21, 22. And so she was a bartender, and the problem is you're gonna go look for something, you're gonna find something, and I found something on her phone, or
no, you went through her phone.
No, I didn't go through her phone. No, somebody texted her, and it so happened to be there, and it was a bad text already, and I was like, what the fuck? And then
How did it start?
so
Because you saw the banner, right? Like on the text.
well, yeah. So it was like, hey, this is this. It's like from the bar. And it's like, you gave me your number, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And so she
Ooh.
gave him her number. So already I was like,
Oh my goodness,
fuck.
it's a good story.
No, it's not. It's not a good story. But anyways, and then it blew up, and it was one of those like toxic things that, I punch a drywall.
No.
I fucking, you can see the little scar on my fucking
Stop.
pinky, and it was a fucking riot. My sister comes down because we lived below her, and she comes down and she's like, George, stop, and then it was crazy. It was so dramatic, and I was just so blinded by.
But she denied it.
Yeah, she's like, no, it was nothing, blah blah blah. Like, anyways, so the smart thing was like, okay, it's over with, right? I said it's over with. Yeah, boom, you're moving the fuck out. Get the fuck out. So she was so toxic that she like. She drove into a pole, dude. Like she drove into a pole and she broke her wrist and she broke her. So yeah, and she did it.
So much more toxic than I could have ever made myself.
So anyway, she did it on purpose, and it was just so bad. You know what I mean? So, I'm fucking. Back then, I was an asshole. Like, I could have been a really big asshole, and but we had a room empty on the other side. So you stay in that room empty over there until you find a place, and and then she found a place like super fast. But I think that was super super toxic. I feel like, and like we were in that for a while like that, and it was just back and forth, dude. And like I don't have no idea where we're.
You punched the wall.
Yeah, come on, every guy does that at least once. I think.
No way. Presley's never done that for sure.
You know what? Presley's been mature since he came out the fucking womb.
This
okay.
This is true. When I'm always like, I like try to make him mad sometimes. Like
that's toxic. That's toxic as fuck right there.
And he's just like, it's fine. I'm like, okay. Well, I think I've only done it like twice.
Okay.
And he doesn't get mad, so I don't do that anymore.
Let me ask you though. Sometimes you got to be careful with guys like that because I feel like sometimes they could bottle it up.
100%, and so I am, because I feel that he's also the type of person to be like, you know what, you've tested my patience enough.
Right.
So I'm not trying to do that. But yeah, so that's really toxic, George.
Yeah. So I can.
My gosh.
Yeah, I've dated pretty toxic women before, and the thing that's harsh, and we've talked about this before, is
that's
that
what you
like
were attracting.
That's what I was attracting, but not only that, but I feel like
I'm trying to like one up you, and I can't.
like maybe I was calling that to myself the way I acted also. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I'm super social. Yeah, I used to be very super social. When I would go out, I'd be like the loudest one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be attracting with
those loud
girls, the jokes, you know what I mean,
yeah.
Stuff like that. But like, I'm not saying attracting the loud girls. What I'm saying is like, women couldn't handle that as me being like the center of attention, or like when we both go to a party, they're like, oh, George is here, fuck yeah, we could fucking, I used to be like, you remember that movie Frank the Tank?
Yes.
So like, I used to be that guy, the drunk guy that like, oh shit, he fucking gets the party always going or something like that, So and it was, that brought up a lot of toxicity,
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think I'm a little bit better, there's not so much toxicness that you need to.
Like, I learned a lot from my sisters because they, especially my sister Carmen, lived in toxic states. Like, she was just constant. And I know she doesn't watch the show, but
so you could just drop it all.
Yeah. So like, her first boyfriend, they dated for 3 years, and she ended up cheating on him.
Oh, dang.
And he found out, and he broke up with her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which he should have.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, actually, good for him.
So then, like, she made the most effort so they could get back together just so she could break up with him. Like, that was my teacher on relationships.
Ooh, okay? That's hard.
Because I was also always with my sister Carmen. So, like, I saw all the stuff she did. Or she would do this thing where she would get a guy friend, and he would be driving her car, and they'd drive past, like, whoever's house.
What?
Yeah, like to make them jealous, or yeah, just a bunch of stuff like that. But I die. But at the same time, like, I think that's why I find the toxica stuff funny, but at the same time sad, because I have a lot of stuff that reminds me of like living those moments with my sister. So something that girls will do is they'll get a friend that's a girl, and she'll put on a hoodie and she'll put on like extra layers underneath so she looks big, and they'll take pictures like hugging.
No way,
yeah,
dude.
and I'm just like, why so much effort for some dude that like you will thank the Lord you didn't end up with in like 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't compare with toxicity with like my sister and her friends from back in the day, but they used to do a lot of stuff like that.
That's
and
crazy.
So yeah, like I mentioned, the most toxic thing I've done is like pass by a guy's house, make sure he's there, like check up on him, make sure like he didn't lie. Which again, don't do it unless you're ready to, don't look for stuff.
Yeah, because you'll find out. Yeah.
Sometimes they're not there, and then what are you gonna do with this information, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, I think that I'm too emotional to be like 100% toxic, because I'd rather not know and like I was telling you, like make a bad thing work. Like the Joker meme.
Yeah.
I would rather that than like find out stuff and have it all fall apart. I have worked on that, but at the same time, it still takes me a lot of work to realize those patterns.
Yeah, I can't. I'm pretty sure I've done a lot of toxic things. I just can't really think of what myself has done. You know what I mean?
I like when people find out that their partner cheated on them, or like that thing, like someone, they gave their number to someone, and they break up with them. I find it like, wow, like I'm so impressed by you, because I'm not like that. I'm more like, okay, let me hear this out. Like I take everything as situational.
Oh, no way, dude.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like, okay, maybe blah, 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 blah. But deep down inside, it's wrong. And I would say that's probably also my toxic trait, that I'm always willing to give you another chance. Because, like, well, who is that serving? Not me.
Yeah.
And not them.
Not them, because they're just going to do it again.
They're not growing.
They're not growing. They're not going to, you need that to grow, to be able to, like, you need that breakup. You need that distancing, You need that confidence of breaking up with that person. Like,
you're right.
You know what I mean? So, like.
I did live toxic stuff with, like, the girl's dad. He was toxic. So there was a lot of girls that would call me like, oh, do you know where your man was? I was like, ew. Like, first of all, don't call him that. Like, I wish he wasn't my man, but a lot of stuff like that, like, or like 3-way calls, girls with another girl type of thing. And I was just literally like, I'm minding my own business here.
Doesn't that suck that, like,
so sucked?
Do you ever like feel like, damn, I was so petty back then, or I was so toxic back then?
Stupid.
Yeah,
honestly.
so stupid. Yeah.
But yes, there was a lot of stuff like that going on. Or like he cheated on me, and like I fought the girl. What?
Yeah, like why?
Exactly.
Like why? That does not make
Like there is a larger story with that, but at the same time, I should have just been like, forget both of you guys, go to hell together, and move on. But I didn't. Instead, I had to have like revenge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst. I hate that. I hate that we were so blinded by that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you have these blinders on, and now like when you see the world differently, like when you feel or like matured or done work on yourself, exactly why it was so wrong back then, and you just like want to puke at who you were back then.
100%. But see, that's why I just don't understand how this is so popular.
Yeah.
Like there are bumper stickers, like mi hija es una tóxica.
Well, it's kind of like one of those things where I told you that where it's like since when has it been cool not to have feelings, right? Mm-hmm. So like now, like since when is it cool to be toxic? It's
so cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Well, at least in the Latino culture,
there's like. Like the like Latino brands or Mexican brand, like they have shirt brands. And it's like there's a bunch of like Toxica.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I don't understand like how that can bring you joy.
Yeah.
How like I wouldn't, that is, you're branding yourself as something that's negative. Mm-hmm. You're branding yourself as like, this is what I bring to the table. And I often hear that, like, men asking women, what do you bring to the table? Honestly, that's such a stupid question for men to ask. But at the same time, you're advertising that. Like, if I were to be like CEO, that's who I'm advertising myself as. Like, oh, I used to wear this shirt that used to say, basically like how I was not a good athlete, but it was funny. You know what I mean? Like one of
Right.
those satire shirts. And at some point, somebody was like, "Oh, you shouldn't wear that shirt because that's not you." And even though it's funny, and I'm like, I guess that's true. Like I'm putting myself down.
Yeah, you are.
And I think that it's the satire right now. Like Toxica's like the cool thing. When really, I'm sure most of these young men and ladies would want a relationship that's fulfilling and long lasting and not full of stress. I mean, you do remember what that's like
Yeah, it's
to
the
live in
worst.
that stress. Oh my gosh. Screaming on the phone. I am a screamer on the
Or
phone.
like you're always like on eggshells, or you're always just like, what the fuck? Like, do I? They're out somewhere else, and you're just like, what do I do, or
Oh,
what am I
man, that's
thinking, or
tough.
what am I? You know what I mean? Like your mind just starts running, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like is going on?
Oh
you
my
know?
God. Like, how about when you would go out and like a girl would be like, text me when you get there and call me every like 20 minutes
Ah,
and like
yeah,
send
I
me a
used to date a
picture.
girl like
Send
that.
me a picture of the place you're at.
Yeah, I used
And
to.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Oh my God. I've had that situation where guys would be like, send me a picture. And then later on, they would be like, oh, let me look at the picture. Cause like you could get like the details of the picture, like when I took it.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
Yeah, you know, like maybe I have it as a stock picture,
Uh huh.
you know, like from previous
From
times.
back in the day?
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, okay, you did take it when you got there. It's like,
Yeah.
This
it's
is
so
sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so terrible.
if you have to do stuff like that to keep your relationship alive, it's not worth it. Like, just imagine yourself as a 30, 40, 50-year-old having to check up, like,
Yeah.
or being checked up on by your significant other. I've talked a lot about how I've been in like toxic non-relationships, right? But that's also my MO. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot. Like, there's so many funny skits though. It makes me hate it that I think they're funny. But there's this guy on TikTok. His name is like Tony. I don't know. Like, you haven't seen him. But
Okay.
he basically plays the part of himself and his toxic girlfriend. He does skits.
Okay.
Okay, but it's basically like, you know, like, oh, like, let's go to the movies, and she'll be like, why? Is there a girl there you want to see? Like, and it's like funny, but at the same time, it's like,
It's true, though.
We've all lived that
Yeah,
at
it's
some point.
true.
And while it's funny, I hate that for you guys that you're living that.
Yeah, yeah. It's the worst. It's the worst. I hate that. Like, I hate
You know,
that.
and there's like another skit where it's like the girl friend talks to her friend like, Tony turned off his location. Like, why do you have each other's locations on your phone?
Yeah, dude.
I
it's
wish I could give
insane.
like lessons to like high schools across the country, where it's like, don't do that. It doesn't make you closer as a person. I don't have Presley's location and he doesn't have mine, but I have lived in a relationship like that where I was like, I'm going here. Really? You're not there. You're at Walgreens. And I'm like, why are you checking out my location when I'm literally running errands?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so to me, it's just like, don't do that unless like you're going hiking and you know what I mean? Like, to
Yeah.
me, it's like, if you don't correct your behavior, like having a toxico relationship, you end up killed. You
Yeah.
end up hurt. Like, it doesn't end up being a good thing. That girl got into a car accident, for crying out loud.
But she did it on purpose, though.
Yes,
she
like,
did
she
it on
literally
fucking
got
purpose.
into a car accident. Like God forbid something worse happened, you know?
So I mean, what would you say? Like what if like there's a reason behind it, though? You know what I mean? Like, what if you did give them a reason to be toxic? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure, like you cheated.
right? Okay, I have a friend, right? He cheated. You know, very early on in the relationship, and you know, it's like 15 years now, right?
No, after 15 years after that.
No. Like,
Okay.
so like, let's say like the first year they started dating,
Okay.
and now they're married 15 years later, and she's still, you know,
Okay, so
like,
she's still insecure. She. Oh my God, I remember when I was in that toxic with the father of my girls. He cheated, obviously, duh, because I was dumb. But anyway,
duh.
because I was so dumb at that age. I mean, I learned, you know. I like to be kind to myself because there was a whole lot of stuff going on there. But, and I remember, like, we did end up getting back together because we had kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's see how I do. But I would bring it up. I'm like, oh yeah, because like you cheated on me with blah 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 that time that you said you were going here or whatever. And I remember my mom and my sister telling me, like, if you're going to get back with him and forgive him, you can't bring it up anymore.
Oh, dude, that's what my mom said too.
And I was
remember that
like,
shit.
you guys are wrong. I remember thinking that when they were talking to me.
You guys are wrong.
I remember them telling me that, and I was like, first of all, I have learned all my toxic lessons from my sister. And second of all, my mom is the one that brings up even the smallest infraction on you. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, that you've ever done back to you.
Yeah.
So I was like, who are they to even freaking tell me anything? But that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to forgive someone for something like that, then you have to just, like, forgive and forget.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then you have to freaking do either get work therapy, something like that, or you have to break up, because that's not fair on him either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though it seems like almost the opposite, unfair to you, that you have to be fair to him.
Yeah.
But if you're deciding to forgive, you can't be bringing that up anymore. You're basically starting that relationship over from that point on. And so that's tough. But I remember my mom and my sister telling me that. I was like, first of all, no. Like, I am going to bring this up as many times as I need to. And it did cause a rift in that relationship with the father of my children. But at the same time, I'm going to be very honest with you. Like, I never thought I would end up with him. I didn't see him as my husband. Or, you know what I mean? So I didn't really care either. Mm-hmm. And maybe that could be part of it too. Maybe these people, these girls, these guys don't see their partner, you know, as the one. And they just see someone someone that they want to hold on to right now. And that's why they don't really treat them the best.
But even after being together for so long,
yeah, maybe.
It's so crazy. Where do you think?
I mean, I had 2 kids, and everybody was like, "Yeah, because you're gonna be with." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Like, he is not my husband. We're not gonna be together. This has been all an experiment that's gone very wrong. It's bad."
Oh shit, that's hilarious, dude. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's crazy. You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for the people that stuck with it and then they still get hurt at the end. You know,
that'd be me.
No, like for instance, like one girl. You know, I guess the way it depends on the person. Like I never cheated, right? Like physically, right?
It's another story.
So, yeah, so I never cheated on her. But if it depends on the person, right? So like texting, right? Like texting another girl, like, you know, and so I was texting another girl, right, and blah blah blah. So she finds out.
What were you texting?
So yeah, that's what I mean. So it really depends on what you're texting too, you know. So this one I was flirting, and that is cheating, you know. But you know,
yes,
you know what I mean. So there's a difference between me texting you, hey, what's business, and this and that. Hey, did you pay the invoice or blah blah blah, you know,
hey,
or,
like did you
hey,
see this TikTok?
You know what I mean? And then there's a difference between like, dang girl, you fucking sexy, blah blah blah.
You did not
this
say
is that shit like that. You know what I mean?
Honestly, when I hear George flirting or like how he possibly flirts, I die. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I don't know. I don't.
Oh, dude, I used to do so many dumb shit. So one time, you just reminded me. One time I text not my girlfriend now, but my girlfriend then. About a picture that somebody else sent me. So I told my girlfriend then like about these red panties, right? And it's just like, I don't have red panties. Oh shit, dude! So, boom, I fucked up there. So what I'm saying is like, okay.
Wait. So you were telling this girl, let's just call her like Z. So you were telling Z like, oh yeah, your red panties, blah blah blah.
Like, I was saying like that, a fucking picture
but
with
really,
the red panties.
You were supposed to be replying to some other girl.
To the other girl, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so
I'm dead.
So what I'm getting at is like I feel bad for like, so let's say the one girl I was dating and I was texting this other girl, and she broke up with me. I tried everything under the sun to get her back, right?
Really?
Yeah. So I send her a fucking. I fucking hired mariachis to go to her house.
That is so romantic.
Yeah. So I hired mariachis to go to her house and sing her like these songs and everything like that. And we dated again after that for quite a while. But at the end of the relationship, you know, I tried my hardest. I didn't do it again. I didn't fuck up nothing again. And I just realized like, oh shit, you know, it's not for me, you know. So I end up cutting it off and breaking it up, right? Breaking up with her. And I'm just like, I feel sorry for her because I don't know if I wasted her time, but like, like, fuck, I did this to her, and then I still broke up with her at the end of it.
You broke up with her.
Yeah, I broke up with her.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that
though?
some shit? So anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like, oh man, I feel so
Yeah.
sorry for the people on the other end. You know?
See? Don't be like me. Okay, and that girl, that poor girl. Because, like, honestly, did you see my face, how it lit up when you said mariachis?
Yeah, yeah.
That literally some guy could cheat on me. I'd be like, oh, mariachis.
Right, when at the end you should be like, fuck you, fuck your
Yes,
mariachis, you should get the fuck out of here, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, man. And you broke up with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what, though? And we were under, I think each person is, if you've never been cheated on, then you shouldn't be cheated. You should never cheat on somebody else, right? So,
Have you ever been cheating?
I've been cheated on, yeah.
Okay.
So, after I got cheated on,
I've never cheated.
Yeah.
But I have been cheated on.
Yeah, so that's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing to feel and to do. So I would never want to wish that upon anybody. But yeah, so but what I wanted to bring up is where do you think? So I haven't a theory, but like where do you think this whole like toxicness is cool? This toxica, you know. So like I would say my theory is like with like the whole resurgence of like female rappers or like there's like a lot of corrido, there's like a lot of female like corridos like right now, like or like women singing like banda music like that and stuff like that. So I don't know, you know, I'm not sure if it's toxic like in general, like we're giving females like, you know, you have the power to do this, to say this, and to, you know, or maybe they're taking it the wrong way. Where do you think it's coming from?
This is a very deep question.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like
I'm gonna get so deep with this. Okay, I find that a lot of toxic behavior is rooted in colonialism.
Okay.
Because we are all trying to be seen. Okay, and if you study at all like native or indigenous relationships, they're not doing this. Like you look up huicholes from how they're not being toxic to each other. You look up like taramaras, like they're not doing this. You look up like the native and indigenous culture does not uphold toxic behavior because you respect each other. Yeah. And I think that in colonization, where for a very, very long time, it was very normal and standard and expected for the guy not to really respect women, or even his woman. And I think that at some point, women wanted to be equal to men. And so instead of being still like the nurturer and they're kind of letting go of that natural part of them, right? That they feel like, no, I have to be equal. So that means fuck you. And now I'm going to bash on you. And I think that it's an overall cycle because we haven't learned how to respect each other unless they eventually do work like this. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I want this relationship. What do I have to do to get it? Right? Okay. So I think that, you know, I hate to always take stuff to like colonizers being who they are, you know. I think that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? I think the most important part about indigenous culture is that they respect everything. The grass, the trees, the food, like the animals that they eat, everything. And so then when they have partners, that's also a normal part of their day for them to respect them, treat them as equal, even though like the guys are hunters and the women are the caregivers. They hold equal space. And I think that for a long time, yeah, you would have men in charge of everything and the women were just like, whatever, you know, basically holes to fill up with children, you know, that's it. That's my theory.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think that there's nothing wrong with like Meg Thee Stallion and like Cardi B, and I get pumped like when Cardi B has the best like one-liners in songs,
right?
Like don't know wanna be my ex, what's up, you know what I mean? Like that's a good line. And I think that there's female empowerment, for sure, but at the same time it also makes me feel bad because what does Cardi B do? She forgives a man over and over
Yeah,
again for
right.
and cheating on her. And you could just know that relationship is toxic,
Yeah.
right? You're talking about Meg Thee Stallion, who was like all these awesome lyrics, and she really bounced on the scene. Very proud of her like tall, like she's super tall and super curvy and super like powerful in her stance.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally gets shot in the foot by some short dwarf guy, okay, that like she was seeing. And so it's just like, even though the girls are doing all this toxica, like, oh yeah, this is who I am,
Mm-hmm.
we're still putting up with a lot of stuff, you know? So I think that even though, like, your point, there's a lot of female corrido singers, a lot of more resurgence of female rappers, we're still putting up with that whole, you know, back to toxic masculinity and all that stuff. That so then we feel like we need to match them and be toxicas back.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think that's my only. I wonder where it's coming from. That's my only question. Like I wonder about that, and it does answer like the theory is there. You know,
I am actually taking a psychology class right now. Okay, can you tell how I'm like my depression's leaving my body? Okay, I'm taking a psychology class in Chicano identity, and basically like how we see ourselves.
Okay.
So I feel like a lot of times we see ourselves as less. That's why like I keep bringing up how it's people of color and mostly Mexicans with this toxic
Right,
pride, because how do we see ourselves?
Mhm.
We see ourselves as like people that always need to be with the waving of the head and attitude
Yeah. Right.
to prove that we're strong and worthy.
So would you say that there's like maybe like a miscommunication of what toxic is and empowerment, or no?
Yes. I think that we're, especially people that are younger, teens to like maybe even 30 years old, think that it's the same thing.
Right.
That you're powerful because you're toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you are diminishing your power because you're giving into this toxicity.
Yeah.
And people, please, like, but I understand that it could be fun and like playful and all that stuff, but really think about what you want out of your life. And is it to be toxica? Is it to be toxico, or with a toxico, or with a toxica? And what does that mean? Do you like the anxiety? Do you like feeling like you have to fight for someone?
Yeah.
Do you like feeling like you have to do whatever you need to do to keep them around? Do you like feeling like, you know, someone finally chooses you so that you have to do, you know, extra to keep them around? Like, just imagine what that word means with what you've seen, and if that's what you want out of your relationship.
Right. And you speaking on the word is just the word itself. Toxic is, if you're saying you're literally telling your mind, your body, your soul that you're poison, you're a sickness, you're bad, you know. So like you embody those kind of things. What your words, you embody your words. You are what you say and you think, and you are that. And when you say that, then you know, who knows? Maybe you become sick. You don't start eating right. You don't start thinking right. You don't, you know, think whenever you say things like that. That's why, like, you know, when I play around about being chunky, you know, like Susie always like she says, don't say things like that, because that you're gonna turn into that person, and it's just super true, you know. So that's why I feel like words, you know, will hurt you in the long term. You know, when you say I'm toxic, you know, it's like it's literally saying like I'm poison, like I'm a poison, you know, and it's not good for yourself or who you're in a relationship with. And it's not just towards women, you know. I know it's because toxica, you know what I mean? It says toxica, you know what I mean? It's because it's female in Spanish, but men also, you know, we have this like, there's this TikTok going around where like, he's like, yeah, she still calls me even though she has a boyfriend. You know, that's being toxic, you know, to a relationship. That's being toxic to yourself. Like, what's that getting out of you? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of person, what kind of respect are you showing yourself as a man if you're the side piece or as well? You know, it's not just a female, you know, thing that we're discussing here. So,
there you go. There's our point of view on
there's our 2 cents.
Yeah. Really just think about it. Really consider what you're calling yourself. Like, sometimes I still do it, but I try my best not to even call myself like a bitch. Like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, because it's like, I don't want to be a bitch. You know what I mean? I want to be someone that's that has character and strong, attitude without being like any negative undertone with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I still do it from time to time, but at the same time, like, it's not my favorite word to call myself, and so I don't want to call my friends like, oh yeah, my bitches, like it's me and my bitches going to brunch, like I don't want to do that either. So I have been revisiting words that I have used often too. Like they're not always the best, and I think I used to make fun of people that would get offended when girls would call other girls bitches. But I remember, like in that movie Mean Girls, Tina Fey. She says, like, don't call yourself bitches. That leaves room for guys to call you bitches.
Yeah.
And at that time, like, I was like, oh, this is so lame, white lady. But at the same time, it's like, that's actually true. You know what I mean? Like, it's still such part of the vernacular where girls calling each other bitches, and the guys will be like, oh, yeah, like, my bitch, and it's like, no, I am not like your bitch, So it all goes together. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you respect yourself, you are not going to be a toxica.
Yeah.
And if you respect yourself, you're not going to attract a toxic person.
Toxico. Yeah.
So.
All right, guys, those are 2 cents. We have actually a unique episode coming up, right?
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, so we just thought about this right now when we
have a lot of great conversations here in the lobby.
Yeah. That's what we should have called the podcast, the lobby.
Yeah, that's true. But we started off in the gym.
Yeah, so but yeah, guys, so I'm going to try to start being better and posting a lot sooner. So I will hopefully have this one up tomorrow, Tuesday. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Please DM us any questions, anything you want us to know. Peace.
Bye.